Hey, everybody. So, I want to share with you how you can create an interactive word wall that can help all students learn, especially in online, remote, or hybrid settings. So, for example, this might be a word wall that you would use in your classroom to emphasize common vocabulary terms that students may see. But the problem is that once they leave the room, the wall doesn't travel with them. So how can you make an electronic wall that will help? So there's a couple barriers that you see right here for students. First of all, it's just text, it's just vocabulary terms. That doesn't really help sometimes our visual students. Also, from an auditory perspective, how do you know what the word means? How do you hear how the word is pronounced? How do you get an explanation of that? So let's show you some tools that you could use to make this a little bit better. First of all, I put this in Google Slides so that we can make this an easy to use form that, or easy to use slide presentation that we could then put in a Google Classroom. We could put in Schoology, Canvas, whatever. So the second thing that I would do is you could have students go into Flipgrid and record their definitions of what this term may mean. So what I did is I just created a topic right here and I called it Kamishabi Man Word Wall. This is the story. And so then what we'll do is we'll have our students go in and record themselves giving a definition of the word. So I'm going to just show you what this would look like from my perspective. So as you can see right here, I'm using Flipgrid. And then what I'll do is I'll add the word. So I want to make sure that I have the text. What would also be helpful is to have a definition, or not a definition, but a visual for the word. So it could be something like going into Google and looking for applause. All right, let me do that. I'm going to go into images. Now, one of the things that I might want to do is from a usage rights standpoint, I might want to go to where I can get Creative Commons licenses. And then right here, let's say that I want to use this hand. I'm just going to go to Save Image As. And I'm going to go ahead and, as you can see, this one right here isn't going to, this one's going to save. Sorry. Now I'm going to go to Flipgrid. I'm going to go to an effects and I'm going to add my photo, as you can see here, and there it is. And then I can go ahead and record. So I can say this. So an applause is when we clap for something very important, a great performance in sports, musical performance, even a play. All right, then I'll go ahead and hit next. Then I'll hit next. And then what I found helpful is for the actual thumbnail right here, maybe having these two options right here, and then going to effects and just adding the board. So that way you can just see the vocabulary word. You're going to see what I mean here in just a second. And then right here under title, maybe you put the term and hit submit. And then when you go in here, you're going to see the terms, as you can see, as thumbnails when you do when you actually do the selfie. Now, what I would do is I would have students then vote on their favorite I would have them vote on their favorite Flipgrid. So you have the students go in and they can go and they can vote on their favorite Flipgrid for their classmates. So that's maybe what you'll do is you have them vote on some of their favorites. And let's say, for example, this right here, or actually this word applause has two views. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit share. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to hit copy. And once I go to copy, I'm going to go right into my my Google slideshow presentation. And I'm just going to add a link to my Flipgrid right here. Another thing that I might want to add to make it a little bit more accessible is maybe that picture that I put in or another picture. So I'll just do this. Remember, you can always go up to insert and you can go to image. You can search the web for your different examples of pictures. So now we've collaborated as a class. We've chosen the 8 different words or however many words that you have. We've copied and pasted the link to Flipgrid right here. Now, how do we get this to students? Well, one thing that I would recommend is if you are going to share it for students. So here's an example of one that I completed. If you are going to share this with students, I would recommend that you go up to File and Publish. The reason why you want to publish this is so that they cannot see the slides over here on the side. Okay, so if you go to Publish to the web, you can publish it right here, and then you can copy it and put it into your Google Classroom, put it into Canvas, wherever. And this is how it's going to look. So I'm just going to paste that. And now students can go through and they can see the video and they can go back and they can go into another video.
The word vacant means empty. It's another word for maybe the house.
All right. So this is a great way to help students connect with vocabulary terms. What I would also recommend doing from a design perspective is adding additional vocabulary terms or additional units to this. And even if you're talking about a specific story, this is a nonfiction text. Or actually, this is a fictional text. Sorry. You can go ahead and click on this and see a little bit more about it. Maybe you're working with an online textbook, maybe you're working with some type of curriculum. I would probably link to that as well, especially for students and their parents. So that's how you can combine Flipgrid and Google Slides together to create your own virtual word wall.